So now we are going to see the historical how this organization behavior has been evaluated. This the evaluation or historical preview of this organization behavior. See, the organization behavior can be explained in 4 eras. The organization behavior historical evaluation can be explained through 4 eras. First era is can be said as pre-scientific era, and the second one is classical behavior, classical era, and the third one is behavioral era, fourth modern. These are the 4 important eras that are making a path for study of organization behavior. So let us come with one by one era. Pre-scientific era, that is started from 1000 AD to 1880 AD. Okay, started from 1000 AD. So this pre-scientific era is nothing but it is the practice of management can be traced to the earliest recorded history. So abundant this era has been identified through archaeological evidence. I can see the great pyramids, how the pyramids has been built, how they have managed to build the pyramids. It is also a work. The big pyramids has been, how this has been constructed. Okay, what is the management behind that? So we have to salute to the great bygones, our ancients managers, bygone managers, has made an effort to build a great pyramids, okay, which is not possible with the employee cooperation. So where the situations are in illiterate workers, where we need to, the managers need to deal with the illiterate conditions and miserable working conditions, primitive agrarian economies, and rude tools. What are the tools? Now we are using most sophisticated technological tools, while at the time pre-scientific era, that is started from 8000 AD, there is no technological evidence. So we used only rude tools. By using rude tools, made the task of the managers very difficult or extremely difficult. Moreover, even though the managers during the pre-scientific era did not have formal education, most of the managers may not have whatever the degrees which you are holding now. Maybe they don't have at the time they don't have that much education, but still they are able to deal with the people at these miserable conditions. In spite of all these conditions, they are able to deal with the people and have produced amazing results. So that's why we have to we have to salute to the contributions made by the bygone managers. Now, as the time passed, as the time has been passing, the people started exploring on resources, natural resources, and technological advances. These led to the exploration of the natural resources, led to the industrial revolution. That led to the great industrial revolution. That bring a change to the total industrial phenomena. So this changed the nature of society and the location of work. The people started migrating after the industrialization, when the people started exploring the new natural resources and started working towards the technological advancement. You can see the change in the working location. People started migrating to urban areas and started, they are leaving the farms, that is farms, that is agriculture, then started migrating to workplaces to or else factories. And so people left their farms and went to work in urban factories. At this time, this made a change in money economics. This bring the money economics and put an end to the barter system. Barter system is nothing but exchange of goods and exchange of services in change of goods. You will be exchange the goods with respect to other good. That is barter system. So money economics replaced the barter system, thus expediting or speeding up the payment of wages system. With the invention of money, by replacing the barter system, the payment of wages started, compensation or remunerating the services of the labor or else services of the workforce has been started. So the disorganized and unsystematic management practices proved to be inadequate for large scale factories operations, thus led to the next type of era, which is called as classical management era. So what happened when the people started concentrating on natural resources and technological advances, all the people, the workmen started migrating to factories, new factories, and the total work culture started bringing a change in the total work culture of the people and replacing the money economics. A barter system has been replaced with the money economics. This made a bigger change in the total industrial economy or industrial revolution, and payment of wages has been started. The services of the people are started identified with their compensation or remuneration. The wage system has been started with this. So when all the systematic and unorganized management practices that are existed has been changing to are said to be inadequate in nature, that's why people started working on the classical management era. That's led to a new era called as classical management era, where people started focusing on new management practices. So this era started from 1880 to 1930. 1880 to 1930. During this time, the first general theories of management began to evolve. So the first general theories of management, the most important general theories of management are, first one is administrative theory and scientific theory of management. The most important theories are, one is administrative theory, second one is scientific theory of management. These are the most important and the pioneer theories of classical management or management era. So the first general theories of management began to evolve. The two major thirst were administrative theory and scientific management theory and scientific management theory. So let us talk about what is administrative theory. This administrative theory is also called as universal process school of management. This administrative theory is also called as universal process school of management, which is given by Henry Foyle, the father of modern management, because he has given 14 principal universally accepted principles of management, and he also given 5 managerial functions. So he is a person who is a French engineer. He is a French engineer, mechanical engineer, who has given a mining engineer with a French company, was a pioneer in the study of principles and functions of management. He has given 14 principles and 5 functions. He has given universally accepted 14 principles and 5 functions of management. So let us talk about, he drew clear distinction between operations and the management activity. He draw the functions or the operational functions are different from that of managerial functions. So he has given 5 major functions of management as planning, coordinating, organizing, 4 controlling, and 5 is commanding. These are the 5 distinct functions of a manager. What are the 5 distinct functions? Planning, organizing, coordinating, controlling, and commanding. This helps the manager run a business more and more effectively. So let us see the 14 principles that is given by Henry Foyle. So the father of modern management, he has given division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of direction, unity of command, subordination of individual interest to the common good, remuneration of the personnel, and order. Order is very necessary. Whenever you're doing some work, it should be in an organized way. So centralization is nothing but which is dealing with the power should be centralized, and one direction, and the authority should be in the hands of one person only. It should not be distributed. Decentralized means distributed. So scalar chain, equity, stability of tenure, okay, initiative, and it is pride D Corp. These are the 14 principles which are universally accepted principles that are being given by Henry Foyle. And next one is scientific management. Scientific management, it is nothing but which is one of the most popular theory of management, and he is the father of scientific management. And Frederick Taylor, credited with being the father of scientific credited with being a father of scientific management, published the principles of scientific management in the year 1911. So he relied heavily on monetary institute. According to him, according to the scientific management theory, he says that money is the prime motivator for the human, and he treats the humans are lazy and without any external motivation, or if you want to motivate a human, you have to give him money. So only money is one of the prime motivator to humans. He feel the humans are lazy, and he thinks if you give money they'll work. He cannot consider the emotions. The criticism with this theory is he do not consider the feelings, emotions of the humans. He treat the humans as a machines. Okay, he is a person says that the work has to be fragmented into, or else cut into small parts, so that it will be easy to do and you can increase the productivity. Through scientific management, he has given 4 different techniques of scientific management. So scientific task planning, whenever you're planning a task, it should be scientifically proven. So if you're doing a work, the time taken by the work and the work should be scientifically proven that you people can do it. So you cannot make a work in an impractical way. Whenever you are planning a work, it should be scientifically proven. Okay, and time motion studies talks about the time taken for a person to do a task. So he measures the time taken for a person to do a task. What is the general time that is taken to perform a task? Based upon that, if there is series of activities are there, the time is allotted to each work, so that you can identify how much time it takes for completing a task. So time motion studies and standardization. He says that it is very important for in an organization to work in an efficient way. There should be some standardized targets. Some targets should be there, standards should be there for work, rules should be there, and regulations should be there. All the things should be standardized. Policies, regulations, rules, and the targets. All the targets, there should be a targeted or standards for work, for measuring the work. So there should be some standards for measuring the work. Differential piece rate system. Differential piece rate system is about the wage system. It is one of the wage system. Piece rate system is nothing but piece of work. For example, for one piece of work, one unit of work, or else one piece of work, this is a one piece of work, he will be giving 5 rupees. If you are doing 5 pieces of work, one piece is equal to, per unit, one piece is equal to 1 unit here, or else 1 unit is equal to 1 ton. If you are performing one term of work, you will be given 5 rupees. That's why 2 pieces, it is 10 rupees. That is how he will be differentiated piece rate system. Based upon the amount of work, they will be giving the payment. So functional foremanship. So last one is functional foremanship. Functional foremanship is nothing but the work has to be categorized or fragmented or break down into smaller work, so that it will be done effectively. That is called as functional work foremanship. Work has to be broken into smaller pieces.